Communism was first proposed by German philosophers Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels.
Like Marx, Engels was deeply disturbed by what he regarded as the injustices of a society divided by class.
The symbol of communism consists of the hammer and the sickle. Hammer represents the workers, while the sickle is for the peasant. Development of communism.
Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels studied the history of the world's economies. They saw the way countries developed in stages.
Primitive communism. This is how humans first coexisted. The term primitive refers to a state of being not very advanced.
Communism implies that everything was shared amongst the tribe, including food, jobs, and possessions. No one owned a land, but eventually a group comes to power. This leads to feudalism.
Feudalism. During the feudalism, the king or emperor has absolute power over all of the people. He keeps the people uneducated, and he grants land to nobles who rule the people for him.
Some people become wealthier as trade develops. This results in communism.
Capitalism. While the workers do all of the hard work, the business owners get richer. Capitalism creates a large working class of people who quickly become dissatisfied with how they were treated.
They organize in unions and demand changes. This will lead to a revolution and socialism.
Socialism. During this time, all rulers, kings, churches, and capitalists were ignored. Workers seized control of the country in order to produce goods for everyone. Public enterprises or cooperatives own the means of production, and individuals are compensated based on the principle of the individual contribution.
Because nothing is made for profit, education, and have to benefit everyone, these ideas spread throughout the world, resulting in communism.
Communism. The remaining capitalists put up a bitter fight, but the will of the people will always win.
All human activity serves to benefit one another, allowing everyone to live their lives to the fullest.
Main ideas of communism.
The society is the one that owns all property, and people work together for the common good rather than for personal gain. To each according to his needs, and from each according to his abilities.
Steps to communism.
First, the proletariat will grow tired by the power of the bourgeoisie. Second, they will revolt in a bloody and violent revolution. Third, a new society in which wealth and power are shared and established. And lastly, no class system will exist.
What caused the communism to fail?
Communism failed due to several reasons, including a lack of profit incentive among citizens, the failure of central planning, and the impact of power being seized by such a small number of people, who then exploited it and gamed the system.
Communism is a political and economic ideology that opposes liberal democracy and capitalism, proposing instead for a classless society in which the means of production are collectively held and private property is either non-existent or severely restricted. The first communist government happened in 1970. A group of communists in Russia known as Bolsheviks started a revolution. The result of it was a communist takeover of Russia and creation of a nation known as the Soviet Union, headed by Vladimir Lenin. Many Eastern European countries followed Russia's lead and adopted the communist system. Poland, East Germany, Hungary, Bulgaria, and Romania were among the countries involved. Many Asian countries, including China and North Korea, accepted communism during the 1940s, 1950s, and 1960s. The People's Republic of China, which began in 1947, with Mao Zedong dictating the Chinese Communist Party, or CCP, is another example of communism. Many individuals were starved to death, resulting in millions of deaths and even cannibalism. This is due to disparity and the allocation of the critical resources.